Not just are we treating the individual, but we put that in the context of the family system and how the family system might be contributing to good things and to not so helpful things.
We learned a lot about ourselves, and we learned a lot about Dan's here. Dan's here doing this, but we've got a job to do as well.
The parent seminars were very interesting. We talked about a book and some printed materials that brought up interesting points, and it was a good experience for a couple of reasons. It was good to meet the other parents because you feel like you're the only parent who has ever gone through this. Okay, and you must be a truly terrible person to have had this happen in your life. And when you meet the other parents and you realize that you're not the only person who ever had to go through this.
Often we find that we want to work on the communication between the parents to help them become a unified sort of front as they work with their adolescent.
One of the ways we feel like we brought the best of the therapeutic world is we hire PhD level therapists.
I loved our therapist. From the beginning, he was very, I felt like he was becoming Stephen for us. He was our mediator between Stephen and us, and I felt like he painted a very accurate picture of where Stephen was. I don't feel like he fluffed anything up. I felt like he was very clear, he was very honest. I felt, for never having met him, he was very in tune to our feelings and to our struggle and was trying to bring the two of us together. I felt like he did it very well.
You know, the program at Outback has been developed over many, many years. And one of the things we specialize in is getting the student to want to hear us, to want to cooperate with us, to want to learn, to want to change without feeling like they're being forced to do it. And that is what makes what we do individualized for each student out there.
Staff are awesome. You can relate to them really well. They care about you more than you'll probably ever know.
I feel most importantly we really work on the relationships with the kids, with the students. We want them to trust us, and staff most of all will exemplify the safety and the standards that we want. And they do a really good job of following that.
I felt completely safe in the program. I believe that with all of the people around and the girls and, you know, just nature encompassing you, I really think that that's probably the safest place you can be, away from everything, to really discover what the problems are and what you need to fix. I mean, it was probably the safest place that, you know, it could have been done.
I felt safe because there weren't lions and bears around. He wasn't in danger. He was with people who were loving and nurturing.
As a physician, I've been very impressed with how concerned the Outback program has been with the safety of the kids. They don't deprive them of food or water for any reason. They don't hike if it's over 90 degrees. If there's any question, they have direct contact to a physician. And in that sense, I feel very comfortable with the program and their safety guidelines.
Basically, we were reassured when we walked out the door that this was a place for Dan and he'd be in good hands.
My all-time favorite experiences are always when the parents come out for their visits. Those have been some of the best experiences, and to see families join together and to see just the smile on parents' faces too, like, are you my child?
We're driven up into the woods, and to see our daughter come out of those woods
healthy.
She was absolutely beautiful. Her posture from hiking and carrying that backpack, the brightness in her face. I mean, she was completely clear.
She was off a bad diet.
She was eating healthy, and she didn't have that stress, that stress look. And when she emerged from that woods, it was the most joyous moment of our life.
I think one of the most powerful moments when we went to see Josh was in meeting with Josh for the first time. We were doing the bull roar
you're really swinging a rope, if you will, that makes a noise, and then wherever Josh is, Josh would do the same thing, and so we would hear the noise and we could therefore try and figure out where Josh was and go to him. Tim was showing it to us and it made the noise, and then we heard Josh's sound and it was like, oh my gosh. I was like, and so I yanked that thing from Tim and I said, you know, let me do it. And I couldn't put enough of myself into making that bull roar because I knew that that would get me to Josh. And then I remember Steve was getting ready to do it again, and Steve said, there he is. And I looked around the trees, and there he was, you know, standing all by himself on this hill doing this bull roar. And it was amazing.
And the fact that we had to work towards meeting him, like you guys didn't just let us see him, you know, we had to kind of do that communication thing. It was pretty cool because it was delayed gratification for us, and we both had to work for that. And that was pretty symbolic, I think, about bringing us back together as a family.
It was probably one of the most incredible experiences in my life.
Pretty much my whole attitude towards life has done a flip-flop.
I've just changed so much and appreciate everything so much more now.
Outback gave me the opportunity to change, and I'm forever thankful for that.
It's just something that is almost impossible to put into words.
There's so many things I could have been doing with my time other than doing drugs. There's so many other things that are just more valuable to your life. I intend to follow through and go somewhere with my life, which I don't think I was doing.
I sent a boy out there and I got a man back.
Oh, I think it was the best decision we could have made. It changed all of us.
Well, looking back at my parents' decision, I really feel that it was important that they know that I couldn't help myself, and I didn't know that, and they had to make that decision for me because I could never make that decision where I was. So I think it was important for my parents to have to step in and make the decision to send me away.
It was the first 100 miles on a lifetime of healing, and for that we will be eternally grateful, eternally grateful.
If your child is in trouble and you're not considering doing something, then you are taking a terrific gamble with the rest of their life.
It's made us closer. It's made us better, and I think that it will, continue on that way.
Outback will always be part of our family. It will always be something that we will never forget.
I will never cease feeling utterly thankful that we found them.